Right then, let's get straight to it. The world is absolutely buzzing about artificial intelligence these days. You can't open a paper or scroll your feed without seeing some headline about AI changing everything. It's everywhere. Your phone, your telly, probably even my toaster. It's like AI has quietly crept into every corner of our lives, whether we notice it or not. The news is full of stories about robots taking our jobs. Some folks are panicking, others are excited, but everyone's got an opinion. I thought, why not see what all the fuss is about? I mean, if everyone's talking, there must be something to it, right? Not my job, obviously. I'm irreplaceable. Or at least that's what I like to think. But maybe someone else's, just for a laugh, just to see what would happen. So, I decided to run a little experiment. Could I swap out a real tea-drinking freelancer for a clever bit of software? Would it actually work, or would it all go horribly wrong? The adverts promised AI could do anything a human could, but faster and cheaper. They make it sound like you'd be mad not to try it. The lure of saving a few quid was strong, especially after seeing train ticket prices these days. Every penny counts, doesn't it? The plan: give a creative job I usually send to a trusted freelancer to an AI instead. Something that needs a bit of spark, not just number crunching. Human versus machine, a battle for creative supremacy, and a spot on my payroll. It felt like setting up a proper showdown. It felt a bit cheeky, like I was the villain in a dystopian film, but also exciting. There's a thrill in testing the limits of what's possible. Would the AI be brilliant? A disaster? Would it demand a pay rise, or just quietly get on with it, no complaints, no tea breaks? On one side, loyalty to a real person with bills to pay. On the other, the shiny promise of efficiency, speed, and maybe a bit of cold-hearted logic. Curiosity won out. I had to know. Would I regret it, or would I be converted to the robot revolution? So, with a slightly guilty conscience and a spreadsheet ready, I went for it. I set up the challenge, feeling a mix of nerves and excitement. I was going to sack my freelancer for one job and see if a robot could do it better. Just one job, just to see what would happen. What could possibly go wrong? Let's find out together. Let's talk about the job, and about Brenda. Brenda's a graphic designer, and she's brilliant at turning my vague ideas into something genuinely professional. For years, she's been my go-to for all my tour promo, posters, banners, flyers, the lot. The task: create a key visual for a fictional tour. Joe Lycett, I've got a new printer. The brief: bold, colorful, funny, with my face and a heroic printer. Brenda's process is wonderfully human. A chat, some clever questions, a few days of magic, and then a handful of spot-on concepts. She gets my style, my humor, and always delivers. It's not just a service, it's a creative partnership. Brenda knows what works for me. Colors, fonts, the right amount of silliness. She's not just a pair of hands, she adds her own magic. So this wasn't just about replacing a service, it was about seeing if a machine could replicate that creative spark. The challenge for the AI: become Brenda, minus the tea breaks, tall order. With Brenda temporarily out of the picture, I found myself staring at an empty desk and a daunting task ahead. It was time to pick my robot replacement, a digital understudy who could step in and hopefully not embarrass me. The world of AI tools is a wild, tangled jungle. Apps with names like Artbreeder and Deepart, all promising to be the next big thing, each one shouting for attention with flashy websites and bold claims. After a deep dive into forums, endless comparison charts, and a few too many YouTube tutorials, I finally settled on Midjourney. This tool creates astonishing images, sometimes beautiful, sometimes terrifying, and occasionally both at once. The results felt like peering into a parallel universe. The catch: it runs entirely on Discord, which made me feel both modern and ancient, like I'd stumbled into a secret club for digital wizards. The real trick, though, is writing prompts. You can't just say, poster of Joe Lycett with a printer, and expect magic. You have to type /imagine prompt. Joe Lycett looking cheeky at a heroic printer, pop art, bold colors, cinematic lighting. It's a strange new language. Honestly, it's like ordering coffee in Klingon. Half the time, you're not sure what you'll get back. I spent hours playing around, corgis at Crufts, the Queen eating a kebab, my Auntie Pauline made of cheese. The possibilities were endless, and the weirder the prompt, the better the results. The results? Hilarious, sometimes wrong, but always instant. Each image felt like opening a digital Christmas cracker. The speed was addictive. I was generating dozens of images in minutes, each one more surprising than the last. Eventually, after a lot of trial and error, I got the hang of it. I started to feel like a digital artist, sort of. Now it was time to give it the real brief. Could Midjourney design a tour poster good enough to fool the world? And maybe even Brenda. The machine was ready. Let the battle begin. Let's talk money. Brenda charges around £500 for a project like this, worth every penny for her skill, experience, and the peace of mind. That covers everything. Consultation, concepts, revisions, and a polished final product. Now, the robot Midjourney standard plan cost me £24 for a month. For that, I could generate hundreds of images. No extra cost for revisions, just keep rolling the dice. On paper, the difference is staggering. £500 for a human, £24 for a machine. That's a saving of £476. If your only goal is the cheapest picture, the robot wins. But price isn't everything. What did I actually get for my £24? Was the quality any good? That's the real question. Let's see how the results stack up. Spoiler, it's not just about the money. The main event, quality. When it comes to creating something that truly stands out, quality is the ultimate decider. It's not just about what looks good at a glance, but what holds up under scrutiny, what tells a story, and what feels right for the job. I gave both Brenda, my trusted designer, and Midjourney, the AI art generator, the exact same brief for my I've got a new printer tour. The challenge was simple. Who could create the best poster for my show? Brenda delivered 3 brilliant concepts. One was a retro illustration of me wrestling a giant printer, bursting with personality and humor. Another was a regal, almost royal photo with a sleek, modern printer, making the mundane look majestic. And there was even more. Each idea felt fresh and tailored. Her work had wit, nuance, and told a story. The typography was spot on, the layout perfect, and every element felt intentional, as if it had been crafted just for me. And crucially, the image actually looked like me. Not just a vague resemblance, but a real, recognizable portrait. It was professional, polished, and ready to go. You could hang it up anywhere and know it would do the job. The only downside, it cost £500. That's a lot for a poster, but you're paying for expertise, time, and a personal touch. Now let's see what Midjourney could do. I spent hours typing prompts. Joe Lycett heroically holding a printer, pop art, vibrant colors. I tried every combination I could think of, tweaking words and styles. The AI created stunning visuals, amazing colors, dramatic lighting, rich textures. On the surface, it was eye-catching and bold, the kind of thing that grabs your attention instantly. But it struggled with details. The closer you looked, the more things started to fall apart. My face was always a bit off, like me after 3 glasses of wine. Sometimes it was almost right, but never quite there. And the hands, 6 fingers, sometimes 7, or fingers bending in impossible ways, thumbs in odd places, deeply unsettling. It was as if the AI had never actually seen a real hand before. The AI didn't understand what a poster is. No space for text, no thought for how information should be presented. And any words it tried were gibberish, random letters, nonsense phrases, nothing you could actually use. So the AI was fast and visually impressive, churning out dozens of options in minutes. But it lacked understanding and context. It couldn't grasp the purpose or the story behind the poster. The final image was pretty, almost hypnotic in its colors and shapes, but not usable as a real poster. It just didn't work in the real world. Brenda's work was bespoke and perfect for the job. The AI's was flashy, but fundamentally flawed, like a beautiful cake made of cardboard. In the end, quality wasn't even close. The human wins, hands down, every time, but the robot was fun to play with. It's a great tool for sparking ideas or just having a laugh. Still, you can't hang fun in a theater lobby. When it comes to real-world results, the human touch still reigns supreme. Time is money, or time I could spend watching telly. The AI seemed fast to type a prompt, get 4 images in under a minute. I could generate hundreds of ideas in an afternoon. Brenda's process takes about a week from start to finish, but here's the catch. With the AI, I spent hours learning prompts, then a full day generating and sifting through images. I became the art director, editor, and quality controller. With Brenda, I have one chat, and a week later, a near-perfect poster lands in my inbox. My personal time investment, maybe an hour with Brenda, a day and a half with the AI. So while the AI is fast at making pictures, the whole process was much quicker and less stressful with a human. Sometimes, slow and steady really does win. So, what's the verdict? Will I sack Brenda for good and embrace my robot overlord? Absolutely not. For a finished, professional poster, I'm sticking with the human. The AI, for all its wizardry, failed at the most important part: understanding the brief. It made pretty pictures, but not a poster. The cost saving was a false economy. I lost more than a day of my own time. Brenda delivers a perfect product that saves me time and stress. The AI is a tool for brainstorming, not a replacement for a skilled human. It's a fantastic starting point, but not the finished article. As a collaborator, no chance. Not yet, anyway. For now, I'll be calling Brenda, and maybe sending biscuits. So what did I learn? We're all a bit too excited about AI replacing people. The AI is brilliant at mimicking, but it doesn't understand. It can't have a chat, ask questions, or tell you when your idea is naff. The creative process is a conversation, not just a task. Brenda's skill isn't magic, it's years of practice and real talent. The AI can make a pretty picture, but Brenda solves problems with clever design. I'm glad I tried it. It demystified AI for me. It's not a monster coming for our jobs, it's a new strange paintbrush. In the right hands it's powerful, but it still needs a human to guide it. The fear of AI replacing creativity is misplaced. It might replace repetitive tasks, but not real ingenuity. The spark of human creativity is safe, for now. So what does the future hold? My experiment left me optimistic about human creativity. The future is collaboration, not replacement. Smart creatives will use AI as a tool, not fear it. Imagine Brenda using mid-journey to speed up the boring bits, freeing her to focus on the magic. The AI becomes a super-powered assistant, not a rival. Of course, there are risks: soulless, generic content, and undervalued artists. It's up to us to value real skill and originality. The AI can make a picture, but Brenda can understand a joke, and that's everything. For the jobs that matter, I'll always call a human, preferably one who knows my favorite biscuit.